Hi everyone, I'm back with my beginners pen and wash series. I'm going to do a fun sort of Halloween inspired sunset, and I'm going to show you a couple of techniques with the pen as well as some wash. So I have got a bit of Saunders Waterford. It's about 5 by 7 inches. I am using 3 brushes, a round number 10, a round number 6 and a rigger. I use all these all the time for my beginners series, and this same Cotman palette which is linked in the description. So we're going to come on first of all with a bit of water, so nice clean water, my round number 10, and I'm going to spread that over evenly. So we've got a nice sheen all the way over the paper, no dull dry bits, no puddles, nice and even. And you could use whatever colours you want in this background. It's quite fun, quite an interesting one for you to do. So I'm going to come in first of all with a little bit of cadmium yellow. So I start with my lightest colour first. Rinse that brush off, load it with the water and into some cadmium red. Bring some of that through. Just horizontal strokes, and then I'm going to come into some alizarin crimson. So these are going to be nice vibrant colours, and we're going to hit the top and the bottom with that alizarin crimson. So we've got some lovely colour happening there already. It's settling nicely. I'm going to take some of the ultramarine blue onto my brush and a dab of the alizarin crimson. So I'm starting to get a purple. Purple works quite nicely within all of these colours. So we can spread some of this through. So I'm just dabbing into both, and it's giving me a variety of colour. If you want a bit bluer, then pop a bit more blue in. If you want it a bit redder, pop a bit more alizarin in. So it's all about getting this nice bold effect, which is working really nicely. And then I'm going to take a moon out. So I have got a 1p piece and I'm wrapping it in tissue. So I've got that there, and I've just got to decide where I would like my moon. I'm going to go quite high, press that down, give it a little twist and come off, and you've got that lovely moon there. So that's working really nicely. I'm going to come in to some ivory black. If you haven't got ivory black, you can use Payne's Grey. If you haven't got either of those, then a mixture of ultramarine and burnt umber, or ultramarine and burnt sienna with a tiny bit more blue makes a black. So it's a way for you to do that. Okay, so I'm going to come in with this ivory black on my round number 6. Start to create some distant trees. Got that line of distant trees there, breaking that up. And then I'm going to bring a bit of land down here. So this is still with the ivory black. This is still damp enough for me to carry on. And where it's running, it's quite nice. It's giving it that spookier feel. And then what I'm going to do is silhouette a cat here, a cat sat. Now you can look up what a cat sat looks like. I'm just going for it. This is just going to give me a shape to work with. Silhouettes are always a quite nice one to do. We'll have a little bit of a tail. So this is still with that same ivory black. So I've got that cat. Told you it was going to be Halloween inspired. Just there. Into that ivory black again. I'm going to bring some branches over. So we've got a nice coloured sky we've got some water, we've got some foreground, we've got some distant spooky looking trees, and this is a foreground spooky looking tree that's coming in now. So I'm just doing this with my number 6. If you were using a sepia pen, then you could use a dark brown sepia colour. You wouldn't need to use the black. Okay, so I'm going to dry that off and then we're going to come in with the pen. Okay, so that's nicely dry. And actually, I really like this. I think this is a lesson for you in loose and not doing too much in the same way it's a lesson for pen and wash. So I think if I wasn't doing this as a tutorial, I'd actually quite leave it quite as it is, because I think it's just beautiful. But I'm showing you a tutorial, so I'm going to go over it and we're going to make this into more of a pen scene. So we're going to start in the foreground. And we're going to bring in some definition and directional strokes. So lots and lots of scribbles into the bottom foreground. Now I've come underneath the cat's bum in a curvy manner. So the cat is going to be sat there nicely. We can put some squiggles up. We can make it a bit brambly because it's Halloween inspired. We can bramble some of this over, we can bramble some this way, come along the side of the tree. We can do some contour arching to start to define that tree and some of the branches. We can bring some finer branches off. This is the beauty of using pen and watercolour together. This makes this bit a bit easier. It's quite hard when you're new to get all of these very fine branches to work, and with a liner, with a fine liner or a rigger, and then you've got this pen that can just do it for you. So we can bring a few off. Don't forget to overlap a few. Bring a few out off the page. And a few this way. I'm not going to touch the moon. I'm not going to touch the spooky background. I think that's working great. I can scribble in some texture into the dark of the branches. Then I can come into the cat. We're going to give the cat a little bit of definition. We're going to start with the ears. I'm thinking fur. So I'm coming down this edge with a wiggle. Do a little bit on the neck. I'm coming down this edge with a wiggle. Remember, you don't have to go everywhere. If I outline it, it becomes quite illustrative. If I keep it that I'm just doing the dark side with the scribble of the pen, it becomes less illustrative. It's just different techniques. Within the water, take a few ripples. And then we could have some spooky bats or birds in there as well. So there we go, that's all finished. I've taken the tape off, so we've got a spooky inspired Halloween themed pen and wash there with a few different techniques for you to learn. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do like, subscribe and share. I'll pop another video here and a playlist here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.